How will you remember 2009? Billions of taxpayer dollars bail out Wall Street. Those same banks hit record profits. Much of that money will never be paid back. Banks again expected to hand out $20 to $30 billion in bonuses. Main Street suffers. Unemployment skyrockets. Homes lost. Savings gone.
I always wonder, where's my money go?
2009 will be remembered as the year one congressman pushed to end the Fed, while one magazine named the chairman of the Federal Reserve Person of the Year. It's enough to make some people's blood boil.
All of it out, all my Federal Reserve notes out, and who do I find out that they gave Times Man of the Year? Who did I find out? Ben freaking Bernanke. That's who they made Times Man of the Year. The guy that's been printing these out with billions and trillions, destroying our currency, giving all our money away to all the banks. That's who they made Time Man of the Year.
The National Inflation Association, a grassroots group that's warning Americans about the dangerous possibilities of hyperinflation, reacted. He was named by the National Inflation Association as Villain of the Year. Do you think that's a more fitting title?
It's about time. The Federal Reserve needs to be investigated. They've yet to have an uncovering of who they are, what they do, and how they act. There's never been an auditing of the books from what I've read. I'm a scientist, so I'm not really up on all the fiscal improprieties that took place under Paulson and Bush, but I could say that it's really kind of an embarrassment for a country as great as the United States is to be run so improperly.
Our stance is against Ben Bernanke because we believe the mainstream media has pretty much portrayed Ben Bernanke and the Federal Reserve as the hero in stopping a global economic calamity. And we actually are arguing the opposite, that the Federal Reserve and its policies of lowering interest rates, artificially lowering interest rates, increasing the supply of liquidity, the supply of money in the economy, has damaged the economy, and it's caused a misallocation of funds. And we believe the Federal Reserve is primarily responsible for the real estate bubble.
The effects of the financial crisis remain to be seen, but one thing's for sure, it is an uphill climb for many people to preserve their financial wealth.
As time goes on, just things are getting more messed up. Not to sound like a pessimist, but there are a lot of really negative things that people turn a blind eye to. You know, I think personally speaking, when things are going good, it's hard to look at what stuff's going bad. And then when you're put in that situation, you're like, oh, how did this happen to me? How did I not see the signs happening? How did I not see it happening? But people just get caught up in their day-to-day lives.
Inflation is already here if you really pay attention. If you look at some items that you buy every day, you know, from the grocery store have already increased 30, 40% a year. That is hyperinflation.
Everything costs a lot more money, gas, tax, and I think those things are what frighten me.
The items that are being hyperinflated are such low denomination. You know, people don't mind paying an extra 50 cents for an ice cream cone when that ice cream cone was 50 cents originally, even though that's 100% inflation. Now we're seeing the effects of hyperinflating real estate. And soon we believe we're going to see not only the collapse of the real estate bubble, but we're going to see the collapse of the dollar bubble. We believe the dollar is artificially high, and eventually we are going to see a total collapse of the U.S. currency.
Are you concerned at all, though, about what's happening with the economy?
No, to be honest, no. I kind of keep my head out of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, so, invest in gold, silver, anything like that?
Nothing for me right now. I mean, if I had the money to invest, maybe I'd think about it. But when you live in broke paycheck to paycheck, you kind of do what you got to do.